Once upon a time, in the picturesque town of Hamelin, nestled in the mountains of Germany, the people faced a terrible problem. Rats. Big rats, small rats, fat rats, skinny rats. They were everywhere. They chewed through food, bit the children, nested in homes, and even dared to run across the town square in broad daylight. The townspeople tried everything: traps, cats, poison, but nothing worked. The mayor and town council were at their wits' end. What can we do to rid ourselves of this plague? They cried. One day, a tall, thin man, wearing a coat of many bright colors, a pied coat, arrived in Hamelin. He carried a long wooden flute and introduced himself simply as a piper. I can rid your town of rats, he said, but it will cost you. How much? Asked the mayor. 1,000 gold coins, the piper replied. Desperate and hopeful, the mayor agreed. Rid our town of rats and you shall be handsomely paid. The next morning, the piper stepped into the town square, lifted his flute, and began to play a mysterious, mesmerizing tune. As the melody flowed through the air, the rats came pouring out from cellars, kitchens, holes, and chimneys. Hundreds, thousands of rats danced and scurried through the streets, following the music. The piper led them through the town, across the bridge, and finally to the Weser River. Without stopping, he walked into the water, and the rats followed him. One by one, they drowned and disappeared beneath the waves. The town was free of rats. The piper returned to collect his payment. But the mayor laughed and said, 1,000 gold coins for playing a flute? That's absurd. We'll give you 20 at most. The townspeople nodded in agreement, mocking the piper and dismissing him as a fool. Angered and betrayed, the piper said, You broke your word. You will regret this. And with that, he turned and walked away. The very next morning, while the town celebrated its rat-free streets, the piper returned. He lifted his flute again, but this time the tune was softer, sweeter, and strangely haunting. As he played, the children of Hamelin, boys and girls, left their homes, schools, and playgrounds. Entranced by the music, they followed him, just like the rats had. He led them through the streets, past the bridge, into the forest, and finally to a mountainside. Suddenly, a magical door opened in the mountain, and the piper and the children disappeared inside. The door closed behind them, never to be seen again. Only one child, either lame, blind, or deaf, depending on the version, was left behind, unable to keep up. He told the townspeople what had happened. The people of Hamelin were devastated. Their children were gone, taken by the mysterious piper they had wronged. From that day on, no music was ever played in Hamelin, and a deep sadness fell over the town. Moral of the story: never break a promise, especially one made in desperation. Greed and dishonesty can lead to terrible consequences. Actions have repercussions, sometimes irreversible ones.